Good morning, John Glenn. Today is Thursday, January 26, 2023. In today's installment of Health Minute, the new Kraken variant of the COVID is expected to be taking effect, though it will not affect most of us. According to the Chicago Tribune, the spread of the variant will be apparent in 7% of COVID cases. Meanwhile, WVPE is reporting the IU preparation. Dr. Jim Laughlin says it's not usual to see families for back-to-back illnesses this season. He says there will be a period during the pandemic where the report of sickness drops, which means they are more vulnerable to future illnesses, which is similar to what happened last year with the RSV. He adds, a number of flu cases have been seen to sharp uptick, but steep strep cases haven't been necessarily higher than they were in years before the pandemic. He says that patients should try to avoid treating illnesses with antibiotics as a last resort. Laughlin says that most people are contagious when an illness is starting and symptoms begin. The rule of thumb is to stay home until you're fever-free for 24 hours, and that's this week's Health Minute. In today's installment of Ready, Set, SAT, Khan Academy recommends taking practice tests before you take the SAT in March. Khan's research suggests that the three best practices associated with substantial improvement in the SAT scores: first, taking a full-length practice test, and second, following personalized practice recommendations. Students who use the official SAT practice for 6 or more hours following at least one best practice score, 39 points, higher than the usual student who did not use the official SAT practice for the first time. The SAT has authorized the company to provide a practice test, and Khan it is. You can create your own personalized practice test at khanacademy.org, and that's today's Ready, Set, SAT. Stop at the Media Center to sign up for our Valentine's Day prize giveaway. Enter once per day. Sign up for instrumental volleyball by seeing the senior board member during lunch. Teams must be co-ed and players must be from the same grade. The tournament will take place on Wednesday, February 8th in the Aux Gym at 6 p.m. And now here's Mrs. Ripley and a guest.
Good morning, John Glenn. I'm Mrs. Rippey, one of the guidance counselors here, and Izzy Koyonis is joining me. We're here today to share a fundraising opportunity for students and staff to support Riley's Children's Hospital. On Friday, February 10th, 2023, we will take students to Plymouth High School for a Riley's Dance Marathon. The cost is $30, and you need to sign up in the guidance office and complete a permission slip to attend. Only the first 14 students will be allowed to go, with permission from your parents and teachers. We will be at Plymouth from 8:45 to 2:45 for the dance marathon, and then we will return back to John Glenn High School. We will be providing transportation.
Riley's is the #1 pediatric hospital in Indiana. They have helped so many people, and even students here at John Glenn, including me. These donations go to improve the hospital and providing necessities and things like toys and crafts for the kids to help distract them from whatever they're going through.
So we invite you to join us to donate money or join us in this fun time. If you have any questions, contact Mrs. Rippey in guidance. Thank you and have a great day.
Good morning, John Glenn, and today for the weather, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 29 and a real feel of 21. Winds are going to be coming in from the east at 10 miles per hour. Now for the weekly forecast, on Friday, it's going to be snowy with a high of 34 and a low of 15. On Saturday, it's going to be snowy again with a high of 31 and a low of 22. And on Sunday, it's going to be snowy again with a high of 32 and a low of 24. Now to the main desk with sports.
The Lady Falcons end their regular season with a tough loss to Mishawaka Marion. The Falcons kept the game close for the first half, but Marion's shooting in the second half gave them the boost they needed to separate themselves. Leading scorers for the Falcons were Kennedy Hayden and Sophia Romer with 8 each, followed by Addison Reese and Danny Devine chipping in 6. There's a new #1 team this week in John Glenn's class in boys basketball. Nearby Northwood is the new top dog with 7 first-place votes. Mishawaka Marion is #2, followed by Norwell, South Bend, Washington, North Davies, West Noble, Oak Hill, Chittard, Lake Station, and Scottsburg. Buff, Lebanon, Connorsville, Tippecanoe Valley, and Evansville Memorial received honorable mention. In Class 4A, Ben Davis continues at number 1, but Penn is still number 2 with 2 first-place votes. In Class A, Bethany Christian is number 9, and Michigan City Marquette received honorable mention. Tomorrow night will be another home game for the boys basketball team as we take on South Bend Adams. JV tip is at 6 with the varsity game at 7:30. And on Saturday, our wrestling team heads to LaPorte to begin sectional action. The John Glenn Athletic Department has introduced Mr. Jordan Anderson as the new boys golf head coach of the Falcons. Coach Anderson was an extremely successful three-sport athlete at Triton in football, basketball, and golf. Athletic Director Eric Stevens says he looks forward to the direction that Coach Anderson will have for our boys golf program. There will be a call-out meeting on Friday during homeroom or SRT in the main gym for all prospective boys golf athletes who want to meet Coach Anderson. A junior varsity boys basketball game has been added to the schedule. The Falcons will take to the road on Monday, February 6th to take on Goshen. Now to lunch with Tristan.
Today for lunch, we're going to have Sloppy Joe, hot and spicy chicken sandwich, baked beans, creamy coleslaw, and blueberry yogurt dessert. That's all we have for today, Falcons, and have an amazing day.